snap, and it's almost like we never left. That's right, it's your favorite nerds with these words to be spilling upon you. It is us, the Triple S crew themselves, aka me, the Sundance Kid himself, DJ.
It's me, it's like following up DJ the Vic Rodriguez. Oh man.
And what's up, guys? It's me, Vince, aka Space Case. I messed up that intro. You're getting like half the theme song this week. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. We do what we do. Sometimes we get a couple of technical difficulties, but in all the episodes that we've done so far, 55 to be exact, Vince has been on point on every single one of them. So we're just gonna move past that intro, and let's just take you into the crazy and awesome world that is Hawkeye, Disney Plus newest hit. That's right, I said hit. And I know you guys might be thinking that we're a bunch of Marvel boys, but in all honesty, they just keep putting out gold. So we're just going to keep talking about it as it keeps coming out. This week it is it Slick Fix or is it Space Cases week?
It's Slick Fix week.
It's Slick Fix week. So why don't you just venture into the world that is Clint Barton's Hawkeye series? Not to mention Kate Bishop, but we'll get to that. Vic, why don't you give us a quick rundown of what we're going to be talking about?
So it is a holiday season, and we all think the same thing during the holiday season.
Mm-hmm.
What's Clint Barton doing? Because that's pretty much the show in a fucking nutshell.
Basically.
Of course, yeah. I wake up every morning, I'm like, what's Clint Barton up to?
Dude, what's Hawkeye doing this holiday season? Because that's the show. The show takes place 6 days before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
There are only 6 episodes of it, I believe.
Yep.
And they did a double episode release launch 2 weeks ago. We're currently on episode 4, with the culmination of the series coming up in 2 more weeks, which is right on Christmas Eve, which is super awesome planning. And it's all following I forget, it's one of the Avenger comics. I totally blanked on it, but it's literally the 2012 Avenger Hawkeye comics under the same title, Hawkeye, where it's really, you kind of see like the very humanized version of Hawkeye, very human side of it. And that's what we're kind of getting in these episodes. It's following Kate Bishop as well, who eventually does take on the mantle of Hawkeye. And you're also seeing in a few of the episodes the repercussions of what Clint did as Ronin. That's like a big thing, is dealing with the past, with his past. We're finding out more about him. It's actually a very cool series. All the actors in it are actually really cool, up and coming. I think this year alone, who's Kate Bishop's actress? Hailie Steinfeld. Hailie Steinfeld. It is a year for her. So she's actually stealing the show quite a bit. And I swear I've seen her in 1,000 things that I'm waiting for Vince to tell me on.
Gotcha.
So thank God. Because I was like, I've seen her in something. I've like her face. I'm like, I've seen you in something.
Oh, yeah.
Like she was in something. I think
been
Terminator.
In a couple of, she's been in a couple of like big kind of blockbusters. I mean, Bumblebee for one.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
She's in Pitch Perfect. She's in Bumblebee. She's in True Grit. She's a little younger in True Grit.
Yep.
I feel like,
holy shit, she was in True
like
Grit.
She might be from like
Edge of
Disney
17.
Channel. I don't know. Yeah, she's in True Grit. She's the girl, like the main younger girl that's looking for her papa.
Yep.
Oh, dude, she won an Oscar for that. Oh my God. She got nominated.
Did she?
She's an awesome actress. This is kind of hopefully not. This is something that everyone's got in their mind. Common thought going on about Hawkeye is, bro, it's Hawkeye. Why do I care? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting, the consensus I'm getting. Like, another Marvel show and it's Hawkeye. Like, why do I care? Guys, if you haven't watched this and you're doubting it, you're not wrong to, but give it a shot, because I thought the same thing. And I'm not just saying this because we're on a podcast, and you guys know me. I've definitely thrown some shade before, but this one's pretty good so far. It's pretty cool, and they're starting to tie in some other storylines from. We'll get into it, but you definitely want to watch this because there's some references to maybe some Netflix shows that might have gotten canceled and some other Marvel things that are even bigger than Hawkeye. So definitely give this one a shot. Initial thoughts to you two guys. What do we think on the first 3 episodes so far? Thumbs up, thumbs down, sideways thumb.
Sorry, the camera's inverted. I always forget which way to see it. I'm going thumbs up.
I'm
What?
going 2 big thumbs up, and nothing.
What's your reason?
It's just it feels like kind of like a buddy comedy almost, like where Clint is just playing like. I feel like during the Marvel movies, we just never got enough of like the comic accurate version of Hawkeye and Clint Barton, and like he's this very sarcastic kind of on his toes, very funny, witty type of hero, and like the guy that we got in the movies was like very serious and kind of dry humor at times, but like not enough. I feel like we got to see more of that in Age of Ultron. And then the snap happens and we get 5 years of just him brutalizing the underworld, the criminal underworld, as Ronin. And now I feel like the Hawkeye show kind of gives us a different perspective as him, as kind of like this old grizzled hero. Out of the 6, he's kind of suffered, I want to say, the most, just because one, he's the only one left standing, like that's human for the most part, and like he's dealing with those effects, and he had to live through those 5 years and by himself and isolated, you know what I mean? And he didn't have the other Avengers to be there for him. He didn't want that. He just wanted, pain and chaos and strife. And to see this more lighthearted version of Clint is pretty cool. And the chemistry between Jeremy Renner and Hailie Steinfeld is awesome, because she's great at playing like this very just kind of peppy, but like in a sarcastic way, younger adult, and she's still trying to find her way as a hero, which is kind of why she shines, because right away from the first episode we see that she's not like other heroes, and like she's still trying to find her way, and she's not a perfect shot, and like she's still figuring out this world, and she doesn't have a mentor. So I think that's why she and Clint kind of mesh together so well, and why they have like this very good, strong bond that kind of carries the show in those first 3 episodes. And I'm really excited to see what the later half of the season holds. And there's a lot of great acting from the supporting cast as well. And I like that they don't rely too heavily on like CGI or like, effects in general. The fight choreography is, of course, second to none with Marvel. I really liked it. And it's almost like this grounding after seeing WandaVision and, Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Loki. We've kind of had these huge kind of things happening in those shows, and to have this one kind of on a smaller ground level, neighborhood level, it's really cool. And I like all the callbacks to the comics, and it feels probably, again, with these shows, I don't know what Marvel's putting out, but they're on point, dude. Like they're getting more comic accurate as they go with each project that they do. So I think this might be the most comic accurate for Hawkeye as we're going to get, which I'm really excited for. So, and for them to pick up the mantle. So,
yeah, I totally agree. A lot of good stuff in the show. Like I said, I kind of went into it thinking like I don't really care about Hawkeye that much. I don't, and it's not even like a negative. Like from the beginning of his story, all the way back from the first Avengers, they just never really built this character up to the full extent. Should we have gotten that character development early on? Absolutely.
Yep.
Does it matter now? I don't really think so, because we're getting it, and better late than never. I'm glad that he's kind of being spotlighted, and he also has a supporting cast member, because to me this is like, all right, we're gonna flesh out his story, but we're kind of sending him off at the same time. So whether you like Hawkeye or not, you understand that he is on his way out and someone else is taking over. So this is kind of like it's like an origin story and an exit story all in one, with more background on Clint, which I don't know. It works. The dynamic between Jeremy Renner and Hailie Steinfeld is fucking chef's kiss. Like they work well together so well. I haven't seen such chemistry since like Jonah Hill and Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street. Like they just
oh my god,
they're such a good team, and it's such a
I'm gonna watch that.
It's such a weird
comparison.
I guess so. I don't know. I just haven't seen chemistry like that in a while, and I wouldn't have expected it from this show or them two together.
Yeah,
I married my fucking cousin. Yeah, anyways, please teach me to be the next Hawkeye. That's what we're comparing right now.
Sort of, but not really.
The acting caliber and meshiness of those two.
I mean, they all got nominated for Academy Awards, so it's pretty accurate.
Yeah, fuck me, man. I'm saying maybe I'm just, all right. Fair enough. I just thought
DJ went into kind of like the grounded story, which is it's refreshing, because we've had WandaVision, which is just mindfuck, and then we've had Loki, which is another mindfuck, plus like high stakes. You got Kang the Conqueror. So for us to come back down and have more like of a Captain America, or the real title of the show, which is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, kind of grounded again, where you're on the streets of New York again. You're nothing too high stakes, but just enough to like it's more relatable that way. I don't know.
Yeah,
and they're superheroes, but this is as relatable as it's gonna get, I guess. So that's a nice take on it as well. And it's it's always funny to see these guys fighting people in sweatsuits. So that's my initial
mafia
takeaway. Yeah, there's a lot to unpack. Victor, why don't you give us your initial thoughts, and then we'll kind of go back and talk about all the goodies.
So I was the same with you, Vince, where I was like, I like Hawkeye, like I do. I know my fair share about him too. And I was like, you know what? Like something about Jeremy Renner, I don't like his face. He has like a really he looks mad all the time. But he's like one of the fun cast members apparently from the Avengers sets. Like he's a goofy dude. So I was like very excited for this. And then watching this, it was so cool. Like a big central theme about his family. And it's such a weird thing because we've never actually seen that deep dive. We've seen it with people like Tony Stark, where it's kind of family centric, where you see how he cares about his family. And you see Thor, like he has his family, but it's just a bunch of immortal gods. Steve's kind of a loner, but his best friend is like that. So now we genuinely see like the grounded perspective of like a dad who he, in all purposes, he is a hero. They know him as the Hawkeye, and they know him as one of the Avengers. And you can tell like that hasn't settled in his mind. Like he's still very much like, he's like, hey, I'm going to hang out with my family for Christmas. And it's really weird seeing those. I loved it. That's what got me into the show. It was seeing his family. It's a man who he is a warrior, and he's one of the greatest warriors. And Vince walked off. And he's one of the greatest warriors that has existed in the Marvel pantheon. He's one of the greatest archers ever. And he hasn't really accepted that. He thinks of himself more like he still thinks he's like, I'm just a spy. Like I'm nothing like that. And people are like, no, you're a hero. And his family is even like, his family understands that he's a hero. Like they're like, it's fine if you don't show up for Christmas. Like we understand. And you see it still kind of sets with him where he's just like, no, I'm a normal dad. Like I'm going to see so it's interesting seeing that perspective of a dude who like, he's done all these really amazing things, but all he wants is a normal family life. And I'm just like, dude, I'm a sucker for those stories. Like anything with family. Like you guys know I'm a stuff. So I love that relationship, and I also love just the cockiness that Kate brings to it. Because you are right, they play a good buddy cop thing. They play a good like Turner and Hooch or whatever, and that's what kind of drew me into the show. Plus the niche characters that are showing up. Because I don't know if you've been on the internet, but Kate's stepdad is the swordsmaster or the swordsman.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, they're bringing in such a really random character into the show, but that's so fucking cool for me. And a lot of the central plots are just family. It's all family. It's something about it is always going to be family. The theme behind this show is family and your past, and I love it. Even Echo, the tracksuit mob leader, her driving force is her family as well. So I don't know. I fell in love with it after episode 1, 30 minutes into it. Sorry.
Right. Yeah, no, all good stuff. He's definitely a family man. There's definitely a family kind of vibe going on, and I can see Clint will most likely accept Kate as like another daughter in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's where we're headed. They're definitely becoming like a maybe like an uncle and daughter, or well, that doesn't make sense. An uncle, maybe down south, I don't know, but like an uncle and an uncle and niece kind of situation. Let's dive into the bigger aspects of the show. Like, what really stuck out to you guys? Obviously, we've got great casting so far, really good writing, surprisingly really good chemistry with the characters. But as far as the storyline goes itself and the 3 episodes that we're covering today, what parts have been the most enjoyable to watch? Victor, I'll call on you guys.
Thanks. Thanks, teacher.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not gonna lie. Enjoyable. It's not for the story, but the enjoyable part was the LARP in New York City. The guy who takes Ronan's suit. That was one of my favorite parts. Because it really showed how he was just like he could have just taken the suit, but he was just like, oh god damn it, I gotta do all this shit. Like I gotta let you kill me in combat.
He's like, I'm a freaking Avenger, and I gotta stoop this low.
It was fun. It was really funny. I enjoyed that, but like central plot wise, there was something that got introduced in the last episode. I'm guessing you guys watched it right today.
I did not watch episode 4. That's what we're watching, but that's what we're reviewing 1, 2, and 3.
1, 2, 3. Sorry, I lost track of what I really see. I will say one thing that I can't wait to see kind of sprinkled in more is the tracksuit mafia. Because if you would pay attention in all the Marvel shows, they get referenced. And in Loki, you see a Skrull in a tracksuit.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Pay attention to the background when Loki's getting brought into the TVA. There's a Skrull talking to someone that looks like Peggy Carter and then a TVA agent.
Interesting.
So I'm curious if
I'll have
there's
to go back and watch some Marvel shows and movies and see if I see any tracksuit mafia people.
Mm-hmm. I'm corny like that. I like that little. I'm like, I know who the fuck that is.
They are definitely the most interesting group of bad guys. Like maybe in general, but definitely for Marvel. We got like all these bros in tracksuits just hanging out, and I don't know. It's interesting. David, we'll go back to the tracksuit mafia in a little bit because it ties into other things that are far more interesting than dudes in tracksuits. But DJ, what was your favorite part of the show so far?
I think just the different perspectives of like the Avengers themselves. I think it's cool. It's cool that like as the viewer with the movies, we kind of just see the Avengers as like on a pedestal. You know what I mean? And sometimes we forget how the world sees them. And you look at Clint and what he's been through and all the trauma and all of that. And a year's passed in Hawkeye since Endgame. and seeing how the world views the Avengers, and how grateful they are, but they just see them as heroes. They don't see them as human, which I think is kind of giving Clint that internal struggle of, I just want to be normal, man. Like, I just want to be a father. Like, that's all I want to be. I want to leave this here. I'm done with this. And it's pretty cool to see how the world treats them as like almost celebrity types, where it's just like, hey, can I get a picture? Or, oh, can I get an autograph? Like, they don't see them as human. So it's almost kind of humanizing in a way, because as we watch Hawkeye, we see it from Clint's perspective, and we see how he has to deal with this, along with the trauma from the events of being an Avenger, and trying to pick up his life and the pieces. And he wasn't snapped out of existence. He was there 5 years struggling, and like, now the whole world is back, his family is back, but there are still parts of him that are a part of that Ronin aspect. So he's constantly juggling with that and trying to find the balance in between. And I think just seeing that struggle, and again, Hawkeye is very grounding. It shows us what a human, how human an Avenger can be. Because you have gods and you have super soldiers, and men that can create nanotech suits, but nobody ever talks about the guy that lost his hearing partially, and how he struggles to deal with having a family. So
Right.
The human aspect of it is pretty cool. And I like how it's just such a grounded show.
I kind of like how the show itself has almost picked up on how the real life fans feel about Hawkeye. And it's kind of portrayed through Kate / the rest of the regular people in New York. So obviously in the beginning we talked about how it's a Hawkeye show. Who really cares? Why should we care? I mean, yeah, it's Hawkeye. We have some respect for him because he's an Avenger and he's been through everything we've seen him go through, but there's never been a backstory about him. So for them to kind of go back and play with the idea of him walking through Times Square and him getting confused with Katniss Everdeen, or someone asking for a picture and they want a picture with what was it, Iron Man, cosplay Iron Man or something.
Yeah.
And just like showing that no one really has, like, Clint / Hawkeye is not really anyone's favorite Avenger except for Kate's. And Kate is the biggest Hawkeye fan ever. So her respect and love for him kind of pulls through and convinces you why it shows you all the good things about him, which is exactly what both you guys have said. He's a family man. He's human. He's not a god. And he's been, with everybody this whole way, pulling his weight and kicking ass. So I think Kate Bishop was absolutely correct. I think this whole time it's just been a branding issue. And if he had a cool costume, he would have had a little bit more respect on his name.
I did love that drop where she
Absolutely.
she draws the original Hawkeye costume and then gives Stan Lee's fucking, that was what Stan Lee said about Hawkeye, where he's like, yeah, he has like wings like a hawk.
So real quick to kind of transition into this last section here, which is going to be the predictions on how the rest of the series is going to go. Real quick, just a quick 1 out of 10. How likely do you think it is for Clint to put on the Hawkeye suit by the end of the show? 4. Okay.
1 out of 10. I'm going to go with a 4.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 5. I'll give it a 5. I would love to see it, but I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe as a joke in like the post credits at the very
right.
Yeah.
Or maybe like him just trying it on and being like, this is so stupid.
This isn't working. Yeah.
Yeah.
So moving forward, we still have a couple more episodes left. We're on our way to have a banger of a finale and the rest of the show. There are tons of rumors and like like very close to confirmation things that are going on. And that I'm talking about the Tracksuit Mafia. Their boss is Echo. Echo's boss slash uncle figure. I don't think it's her actual uncle, but at this point, it's pretty close to confirmed that they're bringing back none other than Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, who was Kingpin in the Daredevil series on Netflix. So
Charlie Cox, man.
Charlie Cox has been, I think he's been confirmed to at
Kevin
least
Feige.
come back as Daredevil. I don't know when, but he's rumored to be in Spider-Man, which comes out in a couple weeks. All this is playing out so well and so awesomely timed, like Victor was saying, like especially just the Christmas Eve timing alone. So they know how to time things well. Let's go into predictions. What do you think is going to happen in the next couple episodes, and where do we leave off for the Hawkeye series? We'll go with DJ first.
Yeah, I just think that it's. I think we're going to see more of the criminal underworld. Obviously, I think Fisk is going to be an important factor into it. I don't know how, but like Vincent D'Onofrio's portrayal of Fisk is just chef's kiss, bro. Like it's just otherworldly. I love it. And to see him and Charlie Cox, and because I watched those religiously. I like as soon as Daredevil came out, I was just waiting for like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Iron Fist, and I was waiting for those every time that they came out. And so
we
to
don't
see them
speak
come
about
back,
Iron Fist in this house.
It's so lovely to see that again. And I hope my prediction is that like we see kind of like a more loosened up Clint towards the end, and him kind of shouldering the mentor role of like his young protege, so that we can see him. And this will hopefully lead to like more Young Avengers stuff and kind of see more grounded material. I'd love to see some America Chavez, and I'm so excited to see like the Young Avengers and like how they bring them in. They're just subtly nodding to them and all of them, and I just can't wait, dude. So hopefully, my prediction is that they're setting up more for the Young Avengers. Absolutely. I'm very excited.
She's rumored to be in Ant-Man Quantumanium with Cassie Lang, and I'm pretty sure this is a thing. I'm pretty sure Cassie Lang and Kate Bishop are pretty close friends in the comics.
Yeah, they're pretty
see them being
they're homies. Yeah.
Kind of best buds. I feel like they're gonna be the new Clint and Natasha kind of team up, where they're just really close.
Yelena, I can't believe we didn't mention that.
Right,
right
Victor,
now.
Do you? He's like, right now I'm about to do it. Yeah. Do you want to talk about Yelena? Because I don't know how she plays a part in all this, but
no problem. Because we're doing episodes 1, 2, and 3, David. So I'm excited to see that introduction, to see her story play out, because she was dropped heavily in Black Widow. But first, to your guys' point of view, for your guys' points, where I think she's gonna be the equivalent of Cyborg for the Marvel MCU universe, for between the Young Justice, or between the Young Avengers and the remaining Avengers, because I feel like it's gonna be like where Clint's gonna be open, where he's gonna be like, yeah, she is my replacement. Like, I am no longer Hawkeye. Like, if you need an archer, that's the person you're gonna call. And I'm sure that relationship's going to be like, well, she's still kind of young. We don't know if we should trust her. We don't know if we need her. And we're going to slowly start seeing her gravitate towards more of the younger heroes that are going to be popping up through the MCU, which are Speed and Wiccan. With the Skrulls being introduced, obviously, they're probably going to have Hulkling come out. They already introduced Isaiah Bradley's grandson, which, like, if you told me, like, hey, like, it ends with like Isaiah Bradley like sitting down in like a hospital room looking at like a television report with Kate Bishop on it, and you see his like grandson like with a neck wound, like in bed with like an IV bag hooked up to him, I'm gonna be like, he has his powers now. he has the superhuman strength now. So I'm sure my prediction for this show at least is that one of the Young Avengers is going to be shown. And
okay.
if not, like one of the Young Avengers is going to be like straight up, like they're going to show that introduction, or it's going to be him. And then, how much do you know about the Young Avengers, Vince?
A decent amount.
I think if she's going to be in, Quantumania, which I really hope she is, I feel like they're going to introduce another character. Because if they're introducing Kang, they can introduce Iron Lad.
Yeah, possibly they could.
That'd be kind of cool. Like I'm gonna put my ear to the ground and see if there's any other confirmations for any other actors in that movie that are just that shy of young. Where I'm like, what are you doing in this movie, dude?
Right.
What are you doing? Sorry.
I personally think yes, they are laying the groundwork for all of this. For me, it's a little soon to talk Young Avengers. We will get there. I mean, sooner hopefully than later for me. I'm looking forward to it. I honestly, I think it's gonna be kind of straightforward. The whole Yelena thing is throwing me off a little bit. There's got to be some sort of twist in there with her. Maybe she comes back and kills Clint, and that's how.
Oh, stop.
She's got it, it could happen. The other more probable thing is for Clint to just kind of drift back in the shadows and accept that Kate's going to take over. And I think that comes with trust. I don't think he's really going to pick up like a mentor kind of vibe personally. I think Kate's perfectly capable on her own already. She just has to have the confidence behind it. So rather than him mentoring her, I think along the way of them being accidental partners, she's going to figure out that she is capable. And Clint is also going to learn that he can trust her and rely on her. And that's going to be the whole turn right there of, teacher to the teacher the student becomes a teacher kind of thing. I don't know what I'm saying, but you guys understand what I'm saying, right?
I completely understand.
I think we do.
Yeah. But, you guys made it this far. This is the end of the episode. We've been talking about doing giveaway stuff for a little bit. If you guys have been keeping up, you guys know that all you have to do is be a subscriber. And also, I want to point something out that I realized, because I've been looking at the YouTube, and some people have their subscriptions on private, so we cannot see if you're subscribed. We can see that we have X amount of subscribers, and then we can see a few people that it's basically on private. If your subscriptions are on private, I suggest taking them off. Obviously, if you're not comfortable with that, then don't listen to a word I'm saying. But if you want to be in the raffle, for us to see you under our subscribers, you have to be unprivated, if that makes sense. We alluded last week to what we're giving away, and this week we're gonna announce what we're giving away. So I'll let Victor do this one, because he is the toy master of the group. He has all the details on this bad boy. So
there's my origin story, isn't it? It's like he is the toy master, and then I'm gonna get like a scarred face.
Indeed,
I am the toy master. I'm sorry. Go on, pop it up there.
Yeah, go ahead. What are we giving away?
What we're giving away. Are you gonna pop it up here? Or do I have to grab it? It's in like another room.
I mean, I'll pop it up.
Please pop it up. And he's gonna pop it up right now. All right, cool. So what we're giving away is this gallery statue that came out in 2019 of Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin.
Awesome.
It's a very cool one. It was made during the Halloween one, so it's a Halloween edition. You can tell just by all the neat little pumpkin bombs on there. There's only so many of these made. I was actually lucky enough to find this at my work. I kind of wanted to keep it, and I was like, we should find something else. It's the freaking truth, I'll be honest. So this one, it's pretty neat too, because it comes with a wall mount. So you can actually, if you take it out of the box, you can display it just laying down flat, or put up the wall mount and have it look like Spidey is dodging midway in the air while he's fighting the Green Goblin. It's very cool. It's close to, I forgot what the articulation points on it, but it's pretty much straight from the comic book. It's truly amazing. If you look at this from just up close, it looks beautiful, well done rendition of the comic book version of Spider-Man and even the pumpkin bombs. And I also wanted to pick this one because one of the biggest movies is coming out this freaking next week.
Yes.
Yeah, so I picked Spider-Man because I feel like that'd be just a nice little giveaway, giveaway idea. You guys, if you want to show your Spidey flag, you can, and you can do it for free. All you got to do is like and subscribe and comment. That's all we're looking for here.
That's all you got to do if you want your hands on that bad boy right there. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you can, take your subscriptions off of private so we can see that you've subscribed. Drop a comment. We're going two more weeks. Right, I'm looking at the calendar. 2 more weeks, and we'll announce a winner. But that's all we got today for Hawkeye. I will leave it there. DJ, you want to send us out?
But of chaos. You guys have stuck with us for 36 minutes, and you know what? We appreciate it. So from the Nerds with the Words, as always, we're signing out. It is me, Sundance Kid himself, DJ.
It's me, Slick Vic.
And it's me, Space Case. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you in a little bit with a brand new episode. Until then, peace out.